What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy here. I'm ocean bound, and I had to give you a little bit of an update. I finally went there and I tried a sinker board. You see all these videos of pros out there, and they're doing jumps and they're riding these little boards, and I started dabbling into jumping. I think it's pretty natural to want to try a smaller, lighter, more agile board, right? And some wingers, they haven't even gotten into jumping yet. I have friends that have boards that don't even have like inserts for straps in them, so that they just, it's not something that's in their cards. I've been winging for over a year now, almost 2 years now. And I feel like I've made a steady progression. And, that's the one thing I love the most about winging is this like steady progression. But as I progress, I get better and more comfortable out there. And the thought of going to a sinker, I just felt like it would stop my progress in its tracks. And I'd just be taking like too many steps back. So after a long period with steady progress, the thought of going backwards is just intimidating, scary, defeating, frustrating, all of those words come to mind. So it's easy to let your mind take control and make excuses for why you can't do something. It's not windy enough, it's too choppy, the water's too cold, or I just want to have a good sesh, I don't want to, something frustrating or hard to happen. I think that's it. We equate sinkers with hard. Winging is hard to start, but it gets better, and so your mind really, I feel like it doesn't really want to go back to something that's like that hard setting in winging. I'm not sure what got over me recently, but the conditions this one day just lined up and I went for it. So I never watched a how-to video on how to do a sinker. I've seen my friends Dylan, Brian, Eric on sinkers and try sinkers, and I've all seen them struggle for all different reasons, But this day was my time, and I guess I was just mentally ready to go back to sucking at winging. So I briefly go over the basics in my head. It's like you get the board under you, and then you get up, on your knees, and then, the wing, and then you get some forward momentum, and at some point you have enough to stand up, and then you can get up on foil. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, okay, cool, no problem. So my only sinker board option was a Nash Hover foil soft top. And it's 4 feet long, it's about 38 liters in volume, no foot straps. I had no idea if this board was going to be a good board to learn how to do a sinker with. So, all right, let's just go over everything that I kind of went through. So, you're getting the board under me. It's awkward. But you quickly kind of learn a method, and that's, you take your hand and you put your hand on the front of the board, and you use your forearm and your elbow and your hand. You can use that as like a stabilizer with, the board, and then your other hand goes on the leading edge handle of your wing. And between that, you kind of have like 1, 2, 3 points of contact and almost like a tripod of stability. So next, getting your knees on the board. Again, you're using your front hand, and you can kind of push the board into whatever angle you need to get it at to be able to bring your knees up under you. Now, I was going for a wide knee stance. I had, my knees basically like close to the rails on either side of the board, and my feet were pretty much under my bum, more or less like right next to each other. And then again, that was giving me a tripod of stability on the board, and I felt like I could balance on that board while it was in the water enough that I could get my hands on and do the wing. So that's the next part, the wing. So I would lift the wing over my head and let go with my board hand, have that grab the first handle on the strut, and then release the hand that's on the leading edge and bring that to the back handle on the strut. And so now you have the wing in your hand, it's in position, you can start to use the wing and the power of the wind in the wing as stability, and that kind of helps you along. So it's really easy for me to say that, and it's not so easy to do. There's a lot of things going on. Balancing on the board under the water is just, it's not that easy, at least at first, and it's if it's your first sinker, it's the first day that you've had to do that, so that's not super easy to do, and the slightest little misbalance will make you fall off and start all over. But once your wing is kind of in position, then you can start to pull and gather some forward momentum on your board. With this movement, the board will start to kind of lift up to the surface. So you need to feel the speed and the lift before you get onto your feet. Or I guess what I'm saying is if you get up too early, you kind of stall and the board and everything just goes straight back into the water again. So unlike a board that floats most or all of your body weight, you can't always pump your way back up from a dead stop after you start to sink. At least not without foot straps, and definitely not until you like kind of gathered some skills. So you do need some forward momentum while you're on your knees, and when that foil starts to help you lift your weight, that's about when you start to get up onto your feet. So I haven't mentioned this, but I think anyone would benefit from having at least 5 miles an hour on what their comfortable low end of their wing is. And I would totally recommend to start with, you know, your biggest wing and probably one of your biggest foils too, because you want to be able to lift it up out of the water. You don't necessarily need to go super fast or anything. I feel like I didn't want to have to cruise on top of the water for a while and like get up onto my feet like while I was doing that. I just wanted to be able to pop up as quick as possible. So this particular day I was using my 6 meter, I was using my 1850. It was blowing about maybe 18 average, and the large wing gave me enough power and lift, and then the large foil kind of popped me up quick. And the number one objective of the day, get up on foil on that sinker. So I'd say it was my first or second attempt. I got right up on foil, and it was easier than I thought. And man, it feels so good. It feels so cool to be on a board that small. To me, it just feels more natural. I mean, like I found like there's little things. I was nailing like upwind tacks so much more frequently than I would normally. And I mean, I'm getting pretty good at upwind tacks, but like they just felt natural on the small board. And pumping out of a kind of bad situation like that just feels natural on the sinker. Pumping on the sinker, that's what it's all about. It feels good. Finally, it's what I've been envisioning, you know, me being on a sinker, me being on a smaller board, what I've been envisioning when I first started winging, how I wanted to wing and everything. It's like finally it's coming to fruition. So now I've had about 4 sessions, I think, on sinkers, and I'm totally hooked. Any day, I'd say, from here on out, if it's blowing at least 17 miles an hour, you're going to see me on a sinker, at least in Pleasure Bay and in flat water. And I hope I'll be riding a sinker in waves, although I'm going to have to mentally go through the process of, you know, breaking through that shore break with a small board like just a ton of times before I actually get out there and start it. So more updates soon from Sinkerland. I couldn't be more stoked that I actually tried it. Thanks so much for watching my videos, everyone. If you want to see some more of my videos, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Definitely drop me a comment. It's been awesome getting to know you guys, and I do hope you're all doing well out there. I'll see you guys on the flip, and I wish you all an awesome day. Later!